Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about the crime system in Alpha 3.5, security, things that outlaws and pirates can do in-game, and reasons to be one of the dark side now. So becoming a criminal. Getting a criminal rating is pretty easy in-game. Land without requesting permission, kill a non-enemy ship or character in range of a comm array, turn off a comm array, or participate in some of the missions that are more criminal orientated. With a criminal rating of 1, you won't see any problems, but get more than that and security turrets will fire at you, security forces will attack you both in space and on ground. Some of the hero landing zones have guards on the ground that will just shoot you even if you can't return fire because you're in an armistice zone. There's also player bounties that will be generated for you, so players will come after you, and you'll lose access to the lawful missions. You'll still have access to the mission you're currently doing, and missions in your personal section as well, which are either sort of neutral or outlaw orientated. So outlaw and criminal missions will only appear in the personal section of your Moby Glass contract manager, and that makes sense because the general channel is supposed to be something that everyone can see, I suppose, whereas the personal section is ones coming directly to you or off the sort of like main channels. You'll have access to some of these, whether you be a criminal or not in personal, but some are criminal only. Ones should start to appear when you have a criminal rating or you've started to do more of a particular type of criminal orientated mission. So the same goes for mission givers. Ruto, the Grim Hex mission giver, his missions are pretty much exclusively if you have been a criminal or are a criminal currently. Ruto's hologram is broken in 3.5 though. You can get missions from him and talk to him and get the meeting for him, but he's just a beam of light at the moment rather than an animated hologram. I suspect that'll be fixed pretty quickly. The assassination and mercenary missions escalate as well. So assassination missions are basically the outlaw counterparts to bounty hunting missions. They appear as mercenary missions. You'll be sent after a sort of like small single-seater ship for like the first couple, and then you'll get larger and larger prey the more sort of like missions you do on that chain, and you'll get things like constellations that you'll have to take down or multiple ships, and eventually you'll get things like hammerheads, which do require a reasonable amount of killing in the latest 3.5 build as combat's a bit slower and shields are a lot stronger, though they recharge less and less often, and they still have a huge sort of like health pool now. You'll get more Alpha UEC as a reward as well, the more of these missions that you do typically. You might need some help with those larger ships though, especially if a lot of ships are turning up. It's going to be based on how much DPS you can pump out and what ship you're in and how many people you're with and that sort of stuff. Make an informed decision, but mess around. I mean, it's alpha, and that's the main thing that we can do. Mess around, work out balance, see if things need to change, and then work out better systems for the future. Security forces hunt you as well now, so they've added environmental missions where AI can police unlawful players and track or call in additional support when doing so. The level and ship of the opposing force will depend on the player's wanted level, and this basically translates into certain areas where you have a criminal stat. More and more security forces will turn up to deal with you, and they can have very large ships turn up like hammerheads eventually for the most dangerous criminals or if you're there for a long time. This can be at mission waypoints, during interdictions, other points of interest, at comm arrays. Security forces can quantum interdict you as well. If that happens, you'll have to take the ships out that are pulsing as targets on your HUD to be able to quantum travel again, or just get far enough away from them. You can just travel a good distance away and then you will be able to go back into quantum. So let's talk about some other ways outlaws and pirates can make money in 3.5 besides missions. Blowing up ships can drop cargo containers if they were carrying any, so they sort of like spawn as a percentage of the cargo they had, it looks like. So there are reasons to destroy cargo ships and then loot their remains, as long as you've got a ship that can carry the loot that they had. And you can scan ships as well now to see if they've got cargo, pressing tab and having a look hovering over a ship. Some players extort monies with the service beacon system, literally saying, if you don't pay me X Alpha UEC, I'll destroy your ship. And this used to happen a lot around Jumptown in 3.4's branch of the game, but will still happen sometimes. Normally, it's if your ship is on the ground and at a cargo outpost, and it's sort of like got valuable cargo that you could be purchasing there. It's worth checking out chat if you are landing at one of these outposts, because you might have someone saying, I can see your ship, I'm going to blow you up, give me money. And it's worth having a chat or trying to get away, or at least being informed of what could happen when you're trying to buy any of the new drugs, any of the new drug running sites, or if you're trying to sell cargo at a particular outpost. I mean, some of these do have armistice zones around them, some of them do not. A huge amount of gameplay is generated even now by outlaw and pirate players. They create the need for players to have escorts, participate in counter missions, but also you'll see service beacons being used as emergency distress signals, sometimes to call in lawful aid for a player that you're attacking or doing whatever with. That said, outlaws can also make use of those service beacon systems too. Be careful when you're responding to a service beacon, because obviously if you're helping an outlaw by shooting down lawful players in range of a comm array, that might not be a great thing, or shooting down security forces or whatever. Lowering your rating. If you want to lower your criminal rating, getting killed by a security dude seems to set your rating back down to 0 at the moment. Alternatively, you can go to Security Post Korea and use the console in the main room there. This will, after a certain amount of time, lower your criminal rating by 1. The higher your criminal rating, the longer it will take to hack down each level of your criminal rating. So if you're at a criminal rating of 1, it can take like a minute or 90 seconds or so. But if you're at rank 5, stat 5, which is the highest criminal stat, then it's going to take a lot longer just to hack down just 1 level. Bounty hunters. On the other side of things, there are bounty hunters. Now, level 1 criminals will not have bounties after them. And unlocking PvP bounties does require a player to complete any local security mission. These are with Crusader, Hurston, or Blackjack security around ArcCorp, and unlock the North Rock intro mission. And once you've done that mission, you'll then be able to take player PvP bounties going after criminals that have a wanted level of 2 or higher. Counter missions. So some counter missions aren't outlaw based, but may cause you to do something that gives you a criminal rating. So you've got the Twitch mission where you may have to attack a player that's got or is looking for a particular box of drugs. And the down satellite mission, you are literally competing with someone else to get this satellite blade and either return it to Clover Star Neely or destroy it. So that can create some friction. And you may have to, if you want to complete that mission properly, take someone else out, destroy them, kill their ship, take out that player when they're searching for stuff. Remember, you will only get a criminal rating if you are in range of a comm array that is active while doing a crime, and you can see that symbol at the top right of your screen to see if a comm array is active. I mean, obviously landing zones, if you do something really close to them, they effectively are comm arrays themselves. Most mission giver missions are still accessible even if you are a criminal. You may not know if a bounty hunter is after you, but suspect that they very well may be once you're a rating of 2 or more. Turning off a comm array will increase your crime stat by 4, and getting a mission from personal to turn 1 off is easy money and a quick way into becoming an outlaw and getting those outlaw missions. Ground security forces will kill you at Area 18 and Lawville if you land with a crime stat of 2 or more, but being killed in this way should also reset your crime stat to 0 and have you spawn at the hab there. If you want to grind criminal missions and assassination missions, typically Grimhex by Yella is the place to be, and probably to live out of as well. It's quick to land and take off and get repaired there. Lots of outlaw stuff going on around there, lots of missions generated for that, and there's Ruto, the mission giver there. Although you might not get murdered by any security guards there are going to be lots of players that might not have your best interests at heart, whether they're outlaws or not themselves. There is some extras I would like to see in the near future, personally though, to really add to the system in the short term. Stealing of ships. I'd like players to be able to store and use ships that they steal until the ship is destroyed, or they try to store them at maybe a lawful zone. Have them be able to be used and stored at Grimhex and Levski. This encourages players to literally just steal a ship, grab their contents, sell all of the cargo that ship has, and if that works consistently, and even if someone tries to claim the ship doesn't just disappear or anything. At Grimhex, I like the idea of being able to buy and sell cargo even if the ship is not mine, but also I'd like to be able to sell, stolen ships somewhere. I think that's a good thing. Maybe only for a small amount of money, and maybe only at Grimhex or somewhere like that, but I think that sort of gameplay would encourage different types of gameplay in the game now that would reward players for not just murdering each other constantly. I'd like to see bounties awarded for destruction of any outlaw or pirate NPC or player as you kill them both on the ground and in space at any time, sort of like the way that Eve does it. You kill someone that's got a bounty on them, you kill a pirate, you just get a small reward. Great. These could be reasonably small, as I said, but it would also encourage players to kill and clear ships. A lot of the problems we've had previously on servers have been with ships not being cleaned up and that sort of stuff. If you encourage players to destroy ships, rather than just like, well, there's no point me even fighting these, even though I'm in a combat ship, and I'll just move on. If you encourage players to kill them, then they are going to make money from doing it and do it. Specific bounty missions could be just for larger rewards and give you more tracking info for a target and their location. You could have rewards for outlaws taking out security forces too, as well, I suppose, or reputation or something. Cargo being more physicalized and fully and being able to be moved between ships would really help as well. It would have pirates trying to disable ships and take their cargo, if you see what I mean, because they wouldn't want to try and blow it up because they'll lose cargo by the ship exploding. If you disable that ship, you can then board it and take its cargo. That's some great gameplay. That's boarding mechanics. That's getting people to defend ships. That's getting people to surrender. There's some cool stuff that could happen with that. And then you have to load and move the cargo between ships. Awesome. I know they need Cargo V2 for that, but hopefully we'll be getting that reasonably soon. I wonder if we will get a rating system as well for being extorted and robbed. If we're able to make our own apps on the Mobiglass, then Rate My Pirate will be great. It would let you know if it's worth paying someone that extorts you, because potentially they could just kill you anyway, and it's good to know if they're just not going to kill you, if they're true to their word, that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just like, well, I'll just blow myself up. There's no point. There are now at least a few reasons to play on the more outlaw side of things, but what would you like to see in the near future? Are you going to be playing as an outlaw, a pirate, or more lawful player? Are pirates just griefers to you? What would you like to see in the shorter term for this kind of gameplay? Please tell me in the comments below. Every month we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For April 2019, we are giving away a Drake Corsair with lifetime insurance. It's the new concept ship focused on exploration, and the loaner for that ship is currently the Constellation Aquila and the Buccaneer. To be in for a chance of winning, be subscribed to my channel and comment on any video that I put out during April. Full details in the description below. Need a PC or upgrade to play Star Citizen? Consider Shadow. Shadow is a cloud-based subscription alternative to a gaming PC, and it works with Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 better than it ever has. It leverages the power of the internet to give you a Windows 10 gaming environment potentially anywhere. Check out the links below or go to shadow.tech for more information. Use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on your subscription if you do decide to try it. I'm not sponsored or paid by Cloud Imperium in any way. This is a Star Citizen news and fan channel that is supported by you, the community. Patrons, donations, subscriber stars, YouTube members, that little join button underneath my videos, all help support the channel and allow me to create regular video content, maintain a website, upload podcasts, and more. If you wish to go that extra mile, it is amazingly helpful. There is occasional exclusive content for those that do as well.